All right, so let's just get going here. So first thing we're going to do is go through the your master admin panel just to make sure that you're hitting all the different things that you can. Obviously, there's video tutorials now on the master admin panel. Um, and then we are in the process of making, and by the end of next week, there will be a video tutorial on every single page in the builder itself. All of that will be completely white labeled and integrated. It won't be connected to YouTube or Vimeo or anything. It'll all be integrated with the builder itself. So there won't be any connections back to us, but there will be a video then on every single page in the builder, which will help you immensely on each page. Plus, if you have customers that are actually logging and doing stuff, it'll help them to quickly reference what's going on with that page and how to change different things with it. So let's just quickly go through the master admin. We'll also go over, obviously native apps are coming alive here. So we'll go over that. We'll go over a couple new features that we're looking at adding to. And we always take suggestions. I mean, some of you will know that a lot of your suggestions get implemented. So feel free, under your support tab up here to send us suggestions because we're always looking at what's going on in the field and adjusting and adding things based on what's going to help you sell your apps, because obviously we don't sell apps directly to businesses. So we like to hear what's going on out there, and we implement new features based on what you're seeing out there. So let's just go through the master admin. So obviously the news from us will keep coming. We just added that new feature, like it says, where you can duplicate an app. That means, once you create an app, if you want to just replicate it and not have to create each page again, you can easily do that just by clicking this copy button right next to that app. And then you can automatically replicate that entire app, design everything, all the content, and do it for another business, and then tweak it a little bit however you want. Once you copy, you can tweak it. That's just going to copy over the content that you currently have for that app, and then you can tweak it from there. So it's just a quick and easy way to replicate sites to, if you're doing the same niche or something like that. So obviously that's a new addition here. And you can see, and again, this toggle is where you can change businesses from free trial to inactive to live. This paid button, what that references, when you click that paid button, because the registration and the payment is not directly correlated, in the builders themselves, there would be a banner up here if that paid button was unchecked. So I can show you that. If I uncheck that paid button, and then log in, it prompts that business or that customer to pay if you're having them log in and that kind of stuff. Actually, and then once what they would do to pay, let me go back to that, sorry for flipping between the two. So if you add your merchant account pay buttons, when they click that, it will actually take them to your pay buttons, whatever you are. Obviously, these are samples. Whatever you put on here, is what they would be able to pay you through. And then you would obviously get an email from your merchant, and then that's when you would go back to your master admin and click them as paid. The reason why we don't have them completely integrated together, they register, put their credit card in, is because then it becomes completely inflexible for you to deal or negotiate with customers and that kind of stuff. It makes it far easier to be flexible with your customers. So then all you do is once they pay, click paid, and then that'll no longer display in there. And you can always, if a customer declines or whatever, it's as easy as flipping them inactive right here and then flipping them live. When you put a business inactive, it does not count towards your bunch of sites. It also does not delete the information. It'll always be sitting down here in your inactives where you can actually just turn them live again and all that information is still there. All right, so save your questions for them, write them down, and then send them through there. Only send something through the questions right now if it's an emergency or all of a sudden nobody can see my screen. Otherwise, write down your answers, and then when we start the Q&A, send them through there because I keep looking at that to make sure nothing's wrong with the webinar. So request mobile build. This is if you want us to build your mobile site for you. It's $199. Obviously, you can pass that on to the business. Some people just don't like designing them. They just want to go out and sell. Gives you the ability to have us build it for you. SMS, obviously, that's a different system that you can log into. Affiliates, you gotta know that you have this affiliate program where you can give out unique codes to people or customers, and any business that comes that they send to your website through this code will automatically track that, so you could pay commissions. And it really helps if you have salespeople to just have that salesperson have their customers, or anyone they sign up through that URL, because then it'll track it under their name. So this is the newest one, native app requirements. We'll go over this after we go through everything. This will actually, we're adding by the end of today, that'll be a PDF that shows you exact steps of what to do for the native apps. And again, we'll go over that in a little bit. On your marketing website, so obviously this is still the same. There's a video tutorial that walks through all these different things. A couple things to note: Google Analytics, you can create a Google Analytics account, and the code that Google Analytics gives you, you just plop in here, hit save, and it'll automatically start tracking all the traffic of your marketing website in your Google Analytics account. We don't need to do anything. Mobile redirect, this makes it so obviously the mobile redirect code that's given on the builders of mobile apps, that your customers have to paste that into the header of their website. For you, we made it very easy. If you make a website or a mobile site for your business, you just pop in that redirect code or save, and it automatically puts it on your marketing website for you. So if I go to your marketing website on a computer, it'll show the full website. If I go to it on my phone, if you have that in place, it'll pull up the mobile-friendly version that you created. A newer option here is the pages. So obviously, if you don't want customers to register themselves through their site, you can uncheck this display get started page, and they won't be able to register through your site. You would have to register themselves. You would have to register them through your admin. Display a reseller page. If you don't want resellers to be able to sign up underneath you, you can uncheck that. If you don't want the SMS images, if you're not doing SMS at all, you can take those off. Display address on marketing site. If you don't want your address on there, you can uncheck that. You're also able to create custom pages for your marketing site. So obviously you have the basic ones that we put up there, but you can actually click add a custom page, title the page, whatever you put in here is gonna show up as on the navigation bar of your marketing site, and you can put HTML code. You can create an entire page of your own on your marketing site. You can even link to other sites out there. If you have other products or even another business, you can just link to that site easily just by typing in whatever you put in this title is going to show on the nav bar, link right to that. So when I click on that, on the marketing site, it would go directly to that business or to that website that you put there. Payment options. So this did change a little while ago, just to make sure everyone knows it. Again, there's always video tutorials up here at the top that show you how to do the different things. So if you have an external page, let's say you have some kind of merchant integration that you do on another page, you can click this linked URL, put in the URL to that page, and it'll automatically, when a customer clicks on that little banner across the top that we looked at for paying, it'll go to that external page rather than the paid page that you create. Otherwise, there's tutorials here on how to add your payment buttons very easily. I mean, Google and PayPal make it very easy to create pay buttons now with annual subscriptions, with Pay Now, all that kind of stuff. You just create them there, plop in the code, click save, and it puts those buttons in there. Obviously, About Us page. You can do plans. We made it so you can now sort your plans, because before it was just putting them in pricing order. So you just click that and you can easily sort. We got this sort feature coming into a lot of things on the app too, where you just click it and you can move things around. So that's pretty nice. So to create a plan, I'm trying to think. I think we might have added something here. QR codes now, so you can limit like how many QR codes each plans get, since we added that. So you can do unlimited QR codes. Monetize your app, that's the advertising. So if you don't want them to be able to put advertising for that plan, you can uncheck that. Looks like the video tutorial is missing on this page. I gotta get that up. And again, you can just decide what each plan gets. You can even make if you want to put negotiable or not a price on your plans, you can put that so that displays on your website and not a price. And let's say you have additional features. Some other features that you can work with businesses as become like their kind of mobile and web expert. Helping them get on Google Places is a good one. Helping them do email marketing, get a membership or a reseller agreement with like iContact or Constant Contact, and include these kind of things in your plans to help them, with other type of web and mobile marketing. But you can just add anything you add here will show on your plans as part of that plan that's included. So, a lot of good things there's a lot of good things out there that you could add on there to help, really solidify the value of you to businesses. So you're not just walking in and say, do you want an app? You can go in there and present, that you can help them with a lot of different things. SEO. So we put in some basic description and keywords. You can obviously change those to whatever you want, add more. This is what Google pulls from their keywords and descriptions of your website. Social media, you can click to your Google, Twitter, and Facebook accounts very easily. Just plop in the URL, and that'll put the icons for those up on your marketing site. Gallery images. Some of you don't know that you can actually replace these and delete them. So we put some on there for you originally, but obviously, if you're working with local businesses, you're probably going to want to eventually put some local businesses on there too. So it's very easy to add them. You just browse and add, and again, there's a video tutorial right here that shows you how to do that. Sub-licensees, that's self-explanatory right there. Account, this is where you would update your billing information with us. You'd click billing up here. So if your card expires or something, you just click billing and you can update it and rerun it there. Learning Center, obviously, we have the video tutorials, documents, and this is where the recording of this will be, designs, community sharing. We're still building up material for that. Support, when you have issues and suggestions, the best way to do it is send it through here, because that will then go to our developers, customer service, and everybody gets it, and you'll get an answer a lot quicker. So that's the master admin in a nutshell. Obviously, as you work with it, there's video tutorials there and stuff that'll show you how to do it. So the main thing obviously is the builder. Let's see here, where is the one that we go to? Okay. So the builder, we have added some new features and definitely more to come. Obviously, when we start talking about native apps, so as of right now, the native app will be the same thing that you build right here. So you don't have to build it again. There won't be any extra stuff that you have to do. It'll actually be whatever you build here. Now with that said, we will be adding features specific to native apps that you would be able to use, like push notifications. Obviously a lot of people and really small businesses don't need a native app. They don't want to pay for it, but it sounds good and they want it. So we're going to give you that ability, and then add some other features specific to native apps. The hard part is when you start adding specific native type features, then that becomes a lot more work as far as developing and updating and things like that for them to continue to work, because obviously Apple and Android are always changing. So we have to kind of limit as far as we go on the native thing. And when I talk about the native part, and I'm sure I'll get some questions on the native part, we'll kind of go over that. Just want to see if we have a couple new things that we've added. Yelp, so people can use Yelp. So Yelp's used a lot with restaurants, and they're starting to get into other businesses for reviews and things like that. Like I said, if there's something on here that you don't see, or something that you don't see on here, you can always send a suggestion through. We have a long list of things that, and little to big things that we will be adding over the time to add to this to kind of keep it ahead of the curve. So we added Yelp. Foursquare, now it can be integrated. A lot of businesses are using that for check-ins and stuff like that. You can integrate that. Form Builder, everyone should know about the Form Builder. You can create custom forms with check boxes, all kinds of different stuff that can really help your business. You could do surveys, you could do all kinds of things on there. to be able to make different kinds of forms. So what you do is you just click on the form builder, and then once you decide, you know, what the title of the form builder is going to be, you can change the icons. Remember, always of everything, just by clicking on this change icon. You can upload your own icons. And obviously, if you're using the custom page, and remember, all of these pages that you can create can be manipulated. This form builder does not have to be called form builder. If I create a blog page or a custom page, I can actually rename the page and change the icon. So it really doesn't matter what the page initially is, because you can always change the name and icon and use these pages however you want in different ways and manipulate them to what you are trying to do with the page. So once you hit create form here, obviously you want to put an email address of where the form's going to get emailed to. Click create form, and it'll give you a list of fields and all kinds of different things that you can create for those forms. So that's a pretty big feature. You can create all the different kinds of detailed forms for your apps. Let's see. We changed some images, so the last page of the images are a lot bigger. A couple new features coming. Actually, just one big one is the map integration. It's going to be a lot more interactive. Now you can, with web apps and websites, you can actually get a lot more interactive with the maps themselves. So that will be coming. And again, we always add these features based on, a lot of features come up, in our heads, but also from a lot of stuff that gets implemented is from licensees. Let's go over a couple things. So appearance tab, I just want to make aware that we do have where you can change the tabs, the layout of it to tabs. So you can see that puts it in a layout form rather than, I don't know if this test app is connected to anything. Probably not. Or you can change it to the icons, or even change the style of icons. So we do have the other layout. We do have on the list another layout that's going to be coming where it looks like the native apps, where there's the navigation bar at the bottom here, where you can put the different navigation things on there. That layout is on the list and will be coming shortly. Languages and currencies, obviously you can change them per app. So you can change your marketing website, but you can also, let's say you have someone that wants to do a Spanish app, you can change that right here in your master admin, and obviously the colors. So this is kind of a newer feature, this homepage text. So you can actually make just a landing page rather than creating an app. So one thing to note too before I get to that is this add to Android, add to iPhone, those don't always show up on the apps. The iPhone has a cool feature where it automatically detects that it's an iPhone, and what's going to pop up is a little thing that points at the add to app, or add as a web app right from the bottom, and you won't even see any of these things on the phone. We just have them in here in the builder seat, so they're there. But it will actually pop up and say add to your phone as an app, which iPhone is ahead of the game in web app, and it's definitely going to be getting web apps are just, there's a lot of press out there, and they're just getting bigger and bigger because they're so much more flexible. You don't have to use the app stores, and to tell you the truth, the Apple App Store is absolutely insane when it comes to the amount of hoops and things you have to jump for each app that you upload. They are very strict on their guidelines. Droid is definitely not strict on their guidelines. Pretty much upload anything. So that's kind of a cool feature on the iPhone. It'll pop up. Droid will get there. They're just a little behind. But so what can happen is for this homepage text, you can actually not even upload any. You can actually make it so no icons would show, and you'd click this HTML button here, and you could actually paste in an entire landing page image that would pop up rather than the app itself. So let's say you have a business that just wants to buy, landing pages. You can just, they could design and just plop in the HTML, and you'd have a landing page rather than a full-blown app where you have icons and things like that. So that's a pretty nice feature. You can also, any text you put in here, it should, make sure you always got to click save. it'll actually put it above your icons and below the logo. So you can do all kinds of stuff in there. I mean, we have people put videos and all kinds of different things on here that can go on there. A side note on these WYSIWYGs is uploading photos to them. So it is never included when you add these things to be able to upload photos to them. That's a whole nother custom code build that we have to do and a product that we need to add. So obviously when you click add photo right now, you have to enter a URL to that photo, which is a pain in the butt. Obviously, I mean, there is some websites out there that you can upload your photos and then add them. But we want to make that easier for you. So we are in the process of building, and it's a custom build that we have to actually integrate with this thing. But when you click on that, you'll be able to just browse your computer and upload it right to this like you do on everything else on our platform. Unfortunately, we didn't have that when we first had the WYSIWYG, but you will be able to do that pretty soon. So that's what this homepage text area is. Custom CSS, this is for the more advanced users. They can actually put in code there and redesign the entire app itself. I don't know how to do it. I'm not a coder, but there, you know, if you do know custom CSS or CSS, you can actually do that kind of stuff. E-commerce, a little confusion on this. So when you click on e-commerce up here, this is just setting a global kind of tax rate if you want and shipping rate. And you put in your PayPal or Google checking merchant ID here to connect to those accounts. Now you have to do this to connect to those accounts initially. This is not going to put any pay button on your actual mobile sites. This is only going to connect your account with their account or your account with the app itself. So obviously if a business has their own, you're going to want to connect those two, not yours, because you don't want to be collecting the money. Let's say it's donations or something for a business. You want to connect theirs to this. So that would be their email address or their merchant ID, and that's going to connect the two. That does not place a button on your on the page itself. To do that, and we do have some more stuff coming with this, what you would do is, let's say we're going to add something custom. Oh, I missed it. There's a checkbox on some of the pages like services, products, custom page, and a few other ones where you click include e-commerce button. So this is actually what adds the button. So you can actually set the price of that specific button if it's a subscription or a buy now kind of thing. Tax rate, it'll be global, or you can change it for this one. And where exactly on the page you want this button to display, at the top, bottom. So this is what will put the button on the website, not this actual e-commerce button. Think of this e-commerce as what connects your account or connects the pay merchant account to the app, and then you have to actually add the buttons on each app. So there was a little confusion about that. Again, excuse me, when we get these video tutorials added, it'll actually help everybody out with that. All right, so that's the e-commerce part. Advertising. A lot of people, aren't using this, but you should. It's a great way to get businesses to get an app, and you can put advertisements on their app and give them a discount, or you can use it as an advertising network. You get 50 apps out there. You could give those businesses a discount and say, if you don't want advertising on yours, then it's this amount. If you do, then it's this amount. Or just telling them that's a great bargaining chip to make up for the cost of your app. If I'm a mortgage consultant, I usually have a referral partner that's a real estate agent, title company. Have them, sell these advertisement spots on their app to make up for the cost to you to run their mobile website and web app. And these would display on the native app also. And it's very easy to do this. We'll just put a test one on here. URL is what the actual, when you click on that advertisement, what URL that's going to go to. And I have a simple one right here. And this is what page it's going to go on. So obviously the home page is where the icon's in. If I click on, let's say, blog, then it takes me to the secondary page. When I click on the blog details of one of the blogs, it's going to take me to the third level page. and that's where these things come into play. So let's add it, and you'll be able to see what that looks like. The webinar slows down our internet here. So you can see it added that nice banner ad, and if you put a square one on there, it's going to be smaller. I think the banners that go across look the best, but you can add those pretty easily, and you can see top, bottom. You can make it just the top, and you can add multiple ones in there to have them rotating through in the same spot. So every time someone goes to it, it'll actually rotate to different apps on the site. So that's the advertising. Let's flip back here to let's go over the web page to mobile conversion. Again, pretty big feature. Save your questions till then, just make sure, because I don't want to. I want to save that for if there's an emergency or something, and the webinar goes out. We'll do questions in probably about 15 minutes here. But the web page to mobile conversion. So what it's doing is taking a regular web page, and we strip out all the CSS, so any design, things like that, and pull just the images and content into the mobile frame. So this is a very big feature that we added. Now there is some constraints, like anything when you're using a builder and not building custom apps. If we were building custom apps, you have to realize too, a lot of businesses, they talk about all this custom stuff that they want for the apps. You just need to tell them flat out, if you want a custom app, you are going to pay for it, and it's going to cost $5,000, $10,000, $15,000 to have a mobile website, web app, and native app, and have it custom to do those things. Now all these businesses, they talk about these things, but when if I would go and give them a quote for it, they would not do it. 99% of small businesses are not going to pay those kind of prices for an app, but they still want all those. So it's your job and in your sales pitch to be able to really tell them, yes, those features would be great for your business, but do you want to pay this for them? You can have a little less integration and a little less flexibility for a tenth of the price of what you would pay for those. So you really need to drive that home when they start saying, can it do this? Yeah, we're gonna make this thing do as much as possible as we can do without having to know custom code and things like that. But there's always going to be limitations. There's two types of businesses out there. One, when it comes to the mobile industry, one that wants to be mobile friendly and have mobile features as much as possible, integrate socially, share, and all that kind of stuff, and have not pay a lot for that. And then there's a business that's going to pay a lot of money for a custom app. There's not a whole lot of in between. Either you're going to do something that you're going to have limitations, like our builder here, and you can pay $50 a month or a fraction of the cost of what a custom app is, or you're going to spend $10,000 building custom stuff. And then it's not only to build it custom, but then once something's custom built, they have to continually pay to have a developer make changes and updates and stuff to that site. Once they see those costs, that's why 98% of businesses do not have anything mobile friendly, because that's all they've seen is those costs. So when they start getting into all this custom stuff that you want, you really need to put the brakes on and say, that stuff's all great, and I can, I have a development company, and you can come to us, and we can even give you a custom quote to show them, and that would really flip them right back to you, because they're not going to pay it. Only very large businesses usually pay for custom type stuff. This is the future for 99% of small, medium-sized businesses, is web apps, mobile sites, being able to be built on a builder like this, where where you can do that for them. And I really suggest, if you're the expert, build it for them and let them manage it, or even manage it for them and charge a premium as the mobile expert. Because again, there's other mobile website builders out there, but you compare it to regular websites, there's thousands of regular website builders out there. We can get a cheap, $15, $20, $30 a month website. Barely any businesses use them. The only ones that use those are the tech savvy consultant or whatever, who's really trying to save a buck and does everything on their own anyways, and are never going to use anyone else for anything. Mobile website builders are no different. There's going to be generic mobile website builders out there that people can go and spend $20 a month and have a mobile website. Businesses don't do it. Small, medium-sized businesses Majority of them do not do that because they don't want to do anything themselves. They're struggling enough trying to run their own business. There's very few that are savvy enough and really want to do anything else than run their business. So that's where you come into play. So don't discount the fact of doing stuff for them and charging them a premium for it. I definitely suggest that. So again, back to I always get on a tangent. Sorry if I get a little loud. I don't know how loud my speakers is, but I get a little excited once in a while. Web page to mobile conversion. So again, there's constraints. I think that's how I got off on that tangent. There's constraints within the mobile conversion that we can do. We don't allow you to edit what you bring in yet, because once you do that, if we do give you that ability, it will no longer update based on if that business changes the websites. The best part about this web page mobile conversion is once you put in that URL, and I'll do one right here, if that business changes any content on that page, it will automatically update their mobile website, their mobile website, web app, and native app all at the same time. So that's the key feature of it, and I'll show you how that works. So here's a local restaurant in Madison. Let's do their beers page. So I'm going to copy and paste, and that's all there is to it. Just copy and paste, and we will see. Let me make sure that's the one that I went to. Okay, so this pulled in that page right from here. So obviously you can see it stripped out a lot of their things. Now our website, let me take that banner off so you can actually see that it's not the what's pulling in. And I'm going to actually delete the logo that I have uploaded to so you can see exactly what's getting pulled in. Alright, so when I click on that page, so this is what we pulled in. Now, some of the limitations, there's kind of a standard protocol for putting in web or navigation bars, and we have a lot of the normal protocol names that it strips out. If they have a developer that did something different, or named their navigation files something different than what's usually standard, it won't strip it out, and you'll still see a navigation bar in there. If you have that issue, you can email us and we can strip it out for you manually if it becomes an issue. But you'll see, here's the page, brought in the logo nicely, and it just lays everything out. There's all their beers with the pictures. Crop Circle Wheat, it's a pretty good beer, gives you a big headache though. And it shows you, and it just lays everything out nicely. Now let's say you have this uploaded to the Droid App Store, and you have a mobile website and web app. When they make any changes, let's say they change the name of this beer, it'll automatically change all of them on this page. So that's the big benefit of this. It just lays everything out mobily. Doesn't take any work on your part at all, and it really is a nice feature. But it is within limitations. It won't pull Flash, for instance. Some people still have Flash websites. It won't pull those. It won't strip out nav bars that they have named separately. If they put in some weird code, we ran into one a week or two ago. Fortunately, we couldn't do anything about it. If they put in some weird kind of JavaScript code that's just out of the ordinary, that's above what we're actually pulling, it can mess up. We've only seen that happen one time where it didn't work. So really the main thing is navigation bars that we have to strip out sometimes. But other than that, it's a great feature, but there is some limitations. We can only do so much, with this without you having to know code yourself. And obviously, that if you knew code, you wouldn't be out selling mobile websites and apps. You'd be sitting at home coding all day. So just always remember, there's some limitations. We do the best we can to add features and stuff that make it easier for you to sell. But always give us your suggestions. We're going to improve based on that. Let's just go back up here. Mobile redirect. Again, we will have a specific video on this. We had one before. We had to take it down because we changed the code. This is very simple for your customers to add. Whoever does their regular website or whoever has access to that code, all that they do is just plop this code right into the header of their website. That's it. It takes 2 seconds. Copy, paste. But we will have a video on here that you could use to show them. But that will be on there. But it's actually really easy. We're actually going to separate out. We had a suggestion from a licensee to separate out for the iPad because some of them don't want them redirecting on the iPad. So we will have one for mobile phones and one for iPads. Now what this does is if once that code is added to a website, it will automatically recognize what is accessing that website. So why this is important, because if I'm searching Google on my phone, it does not pull up mobile websites. It pulls up regular websites. If I go to the Google map on my phone and I type in, let's say I type in restaurants on that awesome map feature on Droids and iPhones, and it pulls up, shows the map with all the different restaurants in the area. Just click on it, and then you can actually click on the number, or you click on the website. If I click on that website, it is going to take me to their regular website, not their mobile website. That is why you want to use this redirect code, because if this is in place, now I click on that website on that map, it will actually see and recognize that I'm accessing it from a mobile device or a tablet and render the correct mobile version before the regular website. That's why you want it in the header, because then what happens is code is read from top to bottom. So if this code is in the header, it will automatically load before anything loads on that page, and it's a lot quicker than if it was at the bottom. So you plop that in there. Now anytime their regular website, so here's their regular website, GreatDanePub.com. If I access GreatDanePub.com on my computer, this is the website that comes up. If that redirect code is in place, if I access GreatDanePub.com on my phone or tablet, it will render the mobile version that you made for them. You want them to implement this. Once this is implemented, it connects the two, and it really defeats the purpose of you even having to discuss this URL up here, which you initially build that the mobile website and web app on. You will not have to even discuss that once that redirect code, and that's really irrelevant what that URL is, because they're just going to market their regular website and your mobile version will come up. So you want to use that. Analytics, looks like this person does not get analytics. But again, that just shows you, we do have on our list for you to be able to add mobile or Google Analytics to the apps. So eventually you'll just be able to plop in, if you want more detailed analytics than that, you'll just be able to plop in the code like you did for your marketing website for an app and be able to track it that way. QR codes. We made it so you can now generate as many QR codes as you want. All you have to do is put in the address that you want, that that QR code to go, and boom, you can scan it and it'll go directly to whatever you put here. And like I said, you can limit each plan how many QR codes they can generate. QR codes obviously are getting bigger and bigger. I think they'll start fading out once near field communication technology comes out. That's where you just wave your phone in front of stuff. iPhone doesn't have it on their phones, Droids do. That'll be pretty big once that comes out. That's where you'll be able to just wave your phone by anything, a little chip, like it'll be like a sticker, and businesses will be able to have stickers. You just wave your phone past them and it'll actually read and whatever that chip says, just like a QR code. A QR code you have to scan though, so that technology will be cool. But that's definitely not there. iPhone will be putting in their next generation of phones. So obviously that kind of stuff, as that stuff comes out, I mean, you're about 2 years out on that, but we definitely integrate those kind of things. Changing URL. So I don't want you to get confused between mobile redirect and changing the URL. This URL is what the mobile website and web app initially are built on. So initially it's going to be a subdomain of your domain. That's just to build it. You do not have to keep it that way. So when I click change URL, you will see here what that URL is. And you can click on account tab. All this change URL does is take you to this account tab. So the first thing is you can always change what the URL is for a subdomain of yours very easily. So let's say you could change this to m.mobymadison, or you could change it to the business's name. You could always change the subdomain of their app, the subdomain of your domain very easily. You just change it, click save. It'll automatically change the actual domain for that app. Now, if let's say a business doesn't like having your name up there in the URL, because that's all that it is changing. It's changing the URL. You know, if you access this mobile website directly from a URL, it will actually change that. Now, if you have that redirect code in place, they're just going to use their regular website URL anyways. So this really becomes irrelevant because they'll, you know, like I said, GreatDanePub.com, that's all they would use, and it would recognize if it was mobile or not. What this only thing that this would change is then what displays at the top for the URL of that business once it's displayed. But the redirect code is completely separate. Redirect code has to do with what is accessing their regular website domain, not the subdomains. All, you know, what you could change here is you could make this a regular domain, but you know, if you have that redirect code in place, this is not going to do anything with that redirect code. You still want that in place. This is just going to change the URL that the mobile website is built on, and it'll change actually when you go to Great Dane Pub, it'll redirect to this URL, whatever you have in here. Now, to do this, if you want to do a custom URL other than a subdomain of your domain, you can put it in here. So let's say the Great Dane Pub wants their subdomain m.greatdane, and this is the pretty common. This is what's pretty common is m. The domain is usually the subdomain of domains or subdomain of mobile websites. So let's say the Great Dane wants that rather than yourlogo.mobymadison.com. Again, it doesn't redirect it. It doesn't do anything. You still need to do that redirect code. What they need to do is click on these instructions, and just like you had to change DNS settings in your master admin, in your domain account, they would have to add an A record. So they would add an A record named that. I mean, you put your domain in the subdomains. They would actually put in, you know, M would be, for this one, would be the domain record they would change. And they just add the record and point it to this IP address. Now you can even use that same initial thing, that document that you used to change yours, because it's really adding the same A record. They would just add M in this instance. So again, don't get this confused with the redirect. Two totally different things. This is just what the URL of the mobile website is. The other one actually redirects it to this from their actual website when it's getting accessed. All right, I have blabbed enough. Let me go over a few things quick of what's coming up, the native app thing, and then we'll have a short time because this will actually shut off at noon. Native apps. The only native app that is launching right now is going to be Droid. Apple requires a lot more native features to be able to launch the iPhone app, so we are launching right now the Droid app that we can publish for you. It will be $150 to publish, not $200, and that's just a one-time fee. There's no ongoing fees or whatever. We charge you the licensee $150 to publish an app for you in the Droid store, in the Droid app store. You in turn charge that business whatever you want, including your monthly fees, or charge them an upfront to publish and a monthly. We just charge a one-time fee of $150 to publish that in the Droid app store for you. And what will happen is it will actually be this exact thing that you create. It will update automatically when you update this. It will be no different than the app that you're creating here. Now, this will be sorry, my phone's ringing here. There will be more features coming. Push notifications is a big one. That is where we're actually working on that now. So your businesses will be able to send out push notifications right from your platform, only for the native apps though. And that will go to anyone that has that native app downloaded. So that will be coming. But as of right now, when you publish in the Droid store, it will be this exact same thing that you uploaded. That's how app builders, native app builders work. That's why the web app, is so key, because really on the iPhone, you don't need a native app until we get the push notification and those kind of things added. Because the web app, when you add it on the iPhone, acts and looks no differently than any other native app on there. It'll be those extra features that is why you would do the native app for iPhone. And again, we'll let you know once we get that part added. For right now, you can easily publish a native app in the Droid store. So they would be able to post that they have a native app in the Droid store, and then you can give them the web app and mobile website, and it all gets in real time updated from this one platform. So anytime you make any changes, like I said, even if you're using that web page to mobile conversion, if you make those changes, if they make the changes on the website, it'll automatically update their native app, mobile website, and web app. So that's a huge feature. Now, where does this get published? It's very easy, and it only costs $25 to get a Droid app account. You can create one for yourself and publish them for your businesses. A lot of time businesses want them published under their name. You give us whatever username and login to an app store, to a Droid app account, and we will publish it in there for you. So our brand, they won't even know who published it. It looks like you publish it. We will actually publish it for you. The app accounts are $25 for Droid, $99 for Apple. Droid is very easy. It's $25. You sign up, you have your account. Apple, not so easy. It takes up to 3 weeks usually to get it. You have to submit like your articles of incorporation to show that you're a business. There's hoops to jump. So if you want an app account, you might as well start doing it now. And make sure your businesses are aware that before we can even publish an app for them, if they want it in their app account, developer account, they need to register one, or you need to do it for them. It'd be $99 a year. Droid's $25. So I will have some information on how to do. By the end of today, when you click in your master admin panel, when you click on this native app thing, there will be a document there that tells you where to go to get an app account for each one, what you need to do, and all these requirements. Again, this is why native web apps are getting so big. When you look at these requirements of what you need to post a native app, it is not worth it for small businesses to do. But we want to give you the option for business to have it. And when we add push notification, that might be a kicker, for why businesses would want is to be able to do those push notifications. But that's where it's at right now. So you'll be able to do a Droid app as of right now. The directions will be in here by the end of the day. $150 one-time fee for us to publish it, and we'll publish it in any app account that you want, or any developer account with Droid. And it only takes a minute or 5 minutes to get a Droid account, I believe. There's no approval process or anything, so it's very easy, $25. So that is where the native app thing is at. Let me just go over a quick few other things. Again, more information by the end of the day. Tomorrow, click on your native app requirements, and we'll have a document in there. A couple other things that are coming down the road. More, you can now on mobile websites get a lot more integrated interactive mapping and locations. So we're going to redo that area, so you can put in a bunch of different locations, have zip code kind of searches, and have more interactive mapping features for their locations, because that's pretty generic right now. Push notifications, obviously. We want to make a cool donations page that you can do with churches, nonprofits. That's just specific, where people can put in their own price and donate and pay their churches, whatever that's called, tithing or whatever, where they can pay right through there. So that'll be a cool page. Photos, the photo thing is completely getting redone. We're going to try and add like a actual slideshow on a mobile website, which is pretty advanced right now. So we're going to try and add a slideshow on mobile websites, and you'll see as bandwidth and as you can have more data and faster data on these on websites or on data networks like AT&T and things like that. As more speeds come out, that makes native apps less and less important, because then that makes it the more we can do on mobile websites, which is the native apps you have to use for gaming, things like that. But with now that more faster speeds are coming out, we can do a lot more with web apps and mobile websites, which really helps businesses save a lot of money. All right, so we are going to start doing Q&A, and I'm sorry I talk a lot and get on rampages, so I'm going to start questioning, and then we will go from there. We got about 9 minutes. All right, so I'm just going to start firing away with these questions. Can I keep up with you? You're assuming that, okay. Larry, give me a call. Obviously, we're going to do a one-on-one. We will go over everything more in depth. You know, if you need a one-on-one session, I mean, we're more than happy to go through those things. We only have so much time on webinars. Additional charge for the App Store. Yep, Apple App Store is $99 a year. That's not from us, that's them. But then there will be just a one-time $150. Our fee to you to publish is only going to be $150 per app. You charge your businesses whatever, and the Apple App Store is $99 a year for a developer account. Droid is $25. What is push notification? Push notification on native apps is anyone that downloads that native app, you can easily send them a message that pops up like a text message on their app. There are options, features that sub-licensees will not have. SMS is the only thing that sub-licensees, you know, if you're building your own network of licensees that you manage and train and stuff, the SMS platform is the only thing that we cannot replicate because obviously that's a third party and not even our main business. Our main business is getting the best builder and apps and mobile websites and web apps out there. So the SMS is just an extra piece that we add that you don't have to pay extra for. Are there any updates to fix backgrounds on scrolling? There is no repeat. There is repeat of backgrounds going down and it replicates the entire background. So we're definitely limited. I mean, we can't stretch out your image, otherwise it's going to deform it. Garrett, give me a call or shoot me a support issue, and we'll talk more in depth about that background issue. What do we do about maps? What do we do about maps now? Mitchell, I mean, you just put in the locations and it'll actually Google Map them on your apps, but we will make that more interactive. If you create a web app, what's the turnaround? Web apps are automatically created, Renee. They're automatically created when you're building your mobile website. There's nothing extra that you have to do. It will automatically create the web app, and it'll automatically prompt people that go to that mobile website to add it as an app. So you do not need to do anything extra for web app. What stops a business from turning a mobile version of their website? That's custom building. I mean, it's hard. They're completely different. Mobile websites and native app and regular websites are completely different alignments, graphics, sizes, and all that. It's pretty much redoing their entire website unless they're using the new HTML5, which only, I mean, it's a fortune. I mean, everything you're doing here is HTML5, but to do an HTML5 website that automatically converts to mobile is, I mean, you're talking $50,000 to build something like that right now. And that's why the only ones that have it are like the Boston Globe and things like that. So really what we're doing is what you have to do to build a mobile version, unless you're going to pay a fortune to automatically generate it. How many other reps are you competing with? Robert, I don't know the exact number. I think you're talking about licensees, but we're monitoring who's in different areas and keeping people away from you so you're not competing with anybody. Less than 2%, always remember this, less than 2% of businesses have a mobile-friendly website or app. There is no competition out there right now with our company, with licensees, and we will make sure that there is not because we monitor the areas, but there's no fault on someone else being in your territory is why you're not selling an app. Less than 2% of businesses have them. So do not, I mean, competition is not what you have to worry about, getting the businesses from us. Your main competition is local developers, and they're charging more, and things like that right now than what you can charge. So you don't really have much competition. You won't have competition from licensees from us. You don't have really other competition in your price range, what you can do for businesses now. I'm brand new to all this, impression on the platform and such. Have to use Apple. You do not have, oh, Brad, don't get confused. That's a new addition. For the mobile website and web app, you do not need the native app stores to be able to use. You build a mobile website and web app, which are 100%, once they're added to the phone, act and function just like regular just like regular native apps, and you do not need the App Store. This is a new addition to be able to do native apps also. So you are correct. You are not mistaken, Brad. You do not have to use the App Store. Can we use QR codes to generate QR codes to generate by other platforms? Can we use? Yes, Yeah, I mean, when you generate a QR code, all you're doing is connecting a URL to that. So you can absolutely use other generators out there. We just gave you one inside of ours to be able to use. Do you have, sorry to go so fast, we're going to run out of time here in 3 minutes. Do you have recommended pricing for plans? I think $49 a month, if you're going to build, manage it, $199 to set them up for the full gamut is a great price range. Give them mobile website, web app. Then obviously to publish a native app, you would charge more to publish it. But I think $50 a month to have a full, access to across the board with them being able to put that in there is a great mid-price range. Obviously, if you're going to go above and beyond, I would do more than that. Links to the form page. Jim, send me an email on that. I can't really understand exactly what you're saying there. How to create call loss for multiple locations. Michelle, that will be part of the new interactive mapping. So we will get to that once we can do once we redo the mapping, you'll be able to have specific things like that for the map. So that will help you out there. Is there an option to send SMS to all web app users? No. That's the only negative about web apps right now is that you can't do notifications. And eventually you may be able to, I don't know, it doesn't look like you'll ever be able to do that. Will business be able to stream video to their app? Yes, you can stream video. I mean, right now it has to be on Vimeo or YouTube or linked to some other external mobile player. Another thing coming is being able to stream audio. So that's coming. Is there a glossary available of all features? Alfred, you can actually, in your builder, go to the build page and it'll show you all the different features that you have on there. Or in your marketing site or in your master admin, when you click on documents in the learning center, they will actually show you the things, the different features on there. What's the final verdict on integrating the Facebook link? Robert, not sure what you're talking about because we can integrate it. Shoot me an email on that. I think I know what you're talking about, but that's specific to you. Is it possible to view uploaded images, photos from mobile phones on one screen accessible from any? Jim, you're getting complicated on me here. I can't read that fast. Send me an email or give me a call when we're done if you got multiple questions, which it looks like you do. Yep, Jim, give me a call when we're done here and I'll walk you through that. So do we have to have accounts with Droid iPhone stores or does the client? Jim, Newberry, completely up to you. You can have one and just publish it for your businesses and then makes you look more like the expert. Or if they actually make it mandatory that they want one, then you can have them do it. We'll Brett, eventually push notifications will be available for native apps. It's not right now. We just need to get it so you can publish them, and then we'll add that. Jim, give me a call on the slideshow. How do I make a logo fit into the tiny square to appear on? You just upload it. I mean, you can that's a whole graphic thing. If you want to redo the design, you can redo the design or upload an app icon. Doing it'll make it square, whatever you put up there. But getting it the right size of what's recommended there. And there's a free design program called. It's actually in your news from Motiply. If you click on your, other news from Motiply, there's actually a free design program that allows you to rechange, the sizes of photos. A manual SMS will not work in other countries. There's just no platforms really not many that do. So unfortunately, that's not going to happen. How do I make the logo fit in a tiny square on the home? Oh, we just did that. Will push notifications affect the ability to Nope, we'll still have that SMS platform. Yep. Thank you. No problem, Robert. I got 2 minutes. Here can I find the prices again? Came in late. Where can I find the prices again? GD, just shoot me an email or shoot an email through your support tab and I'll answer that. Is there a counter for how many customers have scanned QR codes? Huh, Scott, interesting. We do not have that. I don't know if that's possible. I will do some research on the QR code scanner counter. Text to screen. Is it possible to have a text to screen page to allow crowd input? Jim, you were just really getting me today. Give me a call. We'll go through all your stuff. How long will it take to Motiply to build a website for us? If you want Motiply to build a mobile website for you for the $199, we will have it turned around within a week, and it will all be in your builder. It'll be for you in your builder. No one will know that we built it for you. What makes the web app live through the platform? It's just automatically live. In our system, we developed originally, when you build it, it builds a mobile website and web app, so it's automatic. The bar event can hook a monitor to the web. I see what you're saying. So if let's say the business has, interesting, Jim, I know there's a business out there that does, being able to pull a feed in right off that. Something we would have to research. Mobile versions, the data to be able to stream video like that is very limited, and it would pretty much eat up a person's phone data, since now they don't do unlimited in literally minutes. So that's might be a ways out, but we'll definitely keep that on the radar. What's for lunch? I don't know, I'm starving too, Sean. How do I make a logo fit into the tiny square of the homepage? You have to upload it. So in the builder, if you click on appearance, there's an app icon uploader. That's where you'll put it. How long till the Google Maps feature? Robert, I'm thinking 2 weeks. Next week, that's kind of on our agenda to really overhaul that integration platform. By the end of next week also, we will have the video tutorials on there. That's a repetitive question. Live video, again, pretty hard to do on mobile websites because of the data plans. So we will see how that evolves with data plans. I need help with getting customers. Can I have one of you? Yep, Carlos, we can set up a one-on-one time for marketing and training, sales training. How do I make, and plus next webinar will probably be more on sales also. All right, I have to stop at Jim Simpson's last question at 12:03. Where do we go there? Can I call you to discuss? Yes, Reggie, give me a call. Or send a support tab. Live video MMA fight. Again, the live video streaming is very hard to do right now on mobile devices, just because the data gets eaten up so fast. That's why you have to use YouTube and Vimeo and things like that. Does a builder form submit responses to any email address, or only email address used to set up? You actually enter, Robert, the email address that you want that form to get submitted to. So you can put whatever email address you want in there. All right, our last question, or two more questions. What's an average time to build a web app through our platform? Again, Alfred, when you're building a mobile website, it all depends on how good you are at building those. It'll automatically build the web app. I can do it in 10 minutes. Might take you a little bit longer, obviously hour to really design it well. Is there video tutorials for SMS platform? Yes, when you click on the SMS tab in your master admin panel, there will be a video tutorial at the top. Jim, see if you're gonna get me again. Not video, just text for above. Love the progress. Thank you. All right, I will just answer this last one by Scott. When you copy the apps, does it count against your total apps? The only thing that counts against your total apps is live apps. Free trials and inactives do not count towards your total apps, so you have no worries as long as you copy them. Whatever's in your live apps is what counts towards. You can do as many free trials as you want, have many inactives as you want. So that is it. Thanks everybody for coming to the webinar. Next week we'll try and do more sales and marketing type one. I just want to make sure we hit a lot of different things this week and the native app thing. So I look forward to more success, and we are definitely having a lot of success. We have over 700 apps sold out there. So keep up the good work. We will talk to you later. Bye-bye.